What was the first thing you worked for to save up enough money to buy? 13-inch color TV with a built-in VCR. Had to get in a lot of babysitting hours for that bad boy. I had one of those. I got it as a Christmas gift when I was 13 and held on to it until I was 25. At that point, the remote had stopped working a year prior, the VCR part stopped rewinding, then it just stopped working completely. I tried hooking another VCR up to it, but VHS copy protection made that a bad idea. After college, as I was moving out of the dorm, I pitched it into a dumpster, and someone dove in and pulled it out. This made me think of 9/11. I was in college in my dorm watching my 13-inch TV VCR combo when the planes hit. I can smell the dorm and feel the plastic of the TV when I close my eyes and think of this. I had lost the remote. I remember reaching to turn it up when the breaking event began. An original Game Boy. I cut lawns for a summer to save up for it. Excellent. In '84, age 14, I worked 5 to 9 p.m. Monday to Friday in our local video shop for a year to buy a Sony Walkman WM22. I still have it. Finding it in a box in the loft this morning prompted my question. For me, it was an N64. Took about 16 weeks of doing my newspaper route. Totally worth it. I still have mine as well. Same with the paper route except bought a GameCube. Still have it today. And in the wind and rain and snow, he frowned and turned his face below, he gripped the bag inside his hand, and stopped his bike and kicked the stand, and picked a paper out and stared. He turned with dark dismay, despaired, and cursed before the morning moon. He dreamt his dreams and whispered, soon. I saved up money for a NES with Mario 3 when I was a kid. I remember my brother was about 3 or 4, and he had $20 to contribute. He said something like, if I give you my money, can the Nintendo be part mine? I said no. I'd been saving for so long that I just wanted it to be my very own. I look back on that all the time now, and feel like a selfish prick. For the record, she still played it all the time. I think we both came out on top. Still makes me feel slimy though. Edit, he is still a he. Don't feel bad. You still shared when you had it, and I can imagine after saving for so long and having the idea in your head that it was going to be yours and yours alone, you didn't necessarily want your brother coming in and time sharing it. And for all you know, when you got it, he might have said, it's part mine, if I want to play it all day then I will, haha. I will never forget the feeling of going to a video store on a Friday night to stock up on movies and snacks for the weekend. My first saved-up purchase was a radio/tape/CD player boombox in 1998. Worked all summer long doing crap jobs at a boatyard, scraping tar/bottom paint, cleaning up the yard, trying not to touch too many toxic things. Good times. I still have it. It was the same one that the gang is using while stoop-sitting and rocking out to Biz Markie on an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia lol. I did the same for a Game Boy Color when they came out. Was so proud to dump all my hard-earned money on the counter, haha. Shortly after, I set it down on a table at my mom's office while I went to the bathroom. When I came back, it was gone. One of her coworkers stole it. Never found out who it was, never got it back. That is effed. I hate that person for you. Adults stealing from adults is effed up, almost always, but stealing from a child is just incomprehensible to me. I saved up for a skateboard, proper custom skateboards from a skate shop I guess were really expensive, I don't remember, and saved from raking lawns then shoveling snow, and got an extra bit to finally have enough with my birthday money in February. I got a super nice Element deck that was all decked, at in every way, from grip tape to wheels and bearings. All that plus the upcharge they likely do made it take up most of my budget. I skated on it for like 2 weeks then left it at the top of my steps leaning against my front doors, townhomes with raised porches, and it got stolen the one night I left it out. I was broken up really bad for a while and didn't skate again as everyone kind of moved on without me while I waited months to save up for another, so I just gave it up. Turns out an adult neighbor stole it and a friend in the neighborhood who stayed there and talked to him later was told the story by him. He still said hi and stuff to me and I never would have guessed it, but damn, that's effed up. People effing suck. I had a Discman stolen out of my backpack during class in 9th grade and it was never found. Still mad about it. Oh man. My brother left his Tamagotchi, SP, on a restaurant table and realized about 30 seconds later as we were leaving. My father ran back in and there was someone clearing the table. My father said my son left his Tamagotchi toy here and the guy said, "Oh, right," and took it back out of his pocket. Infuriating. Like, the guy could have said you left this when he picked it up, while we were leaving. But nope, yank, free toy. Supervillain origin story. Damn. Did you at least get a new Game Boy or something? This crap sounds heartbreaking. 89. I would smuggle that brick into school and play it in ISS, in school suspension. I did the same thing for my Game Boy Advanced. A TV for my bedroom. I wanted one when I was 13, and my parents said that was fine as long as I paid for it myself, so I got a job picking strawberries at a local farm. Yes, I got my TV, but I was so sick of the sight and smell of strawberries that it was at least a year before I could even think about eating them again. I lasted about 2 hours. Made about 25 cents. My dad said that when he was about that age he got a job at a farm carrying hay bales from one side of the barn to the other. I forgot how many he was able to get throughout the day, but it wasn't a lot, maybe 20? For each hay bale he carried he got paid 25 cents. Yeah, that's a hell no from me, lol. I think everyone should have a manual labor or customer service job in high school at least for a little while. It'll teach you a lot of humility and the value of hard work. The people that work these jobs are still people and the work is difficult. Where I live, all the jobs here are already taken and snatched up. Good thing they are building a grocery outlet so I can apply to be a stocker. Yeah, I searched for a job all throughout high school and never got one. I had severe social anxiety, still do, but a bit better now, so manual labor was about all I could hope for. Customer service was out of the question. Options were surprisingly sparse given that I lived next to several fields. Logically they'd be small bales, and if he could only manage 20 a day from one end of his shed to the other, I'm surprised he didn't get sacked. Lol. It might have been more, like I said I can't remember the exact number. Edit, also small bales make more sense. I was imagining those big ones. Laughing out loud. Yeah, a round bale weighs about 1,000 plus pounds, so square bales are only about 75 to 100 pounds. So I guess it just depends on how big the barn was. What a coincidence. At 13, I wanted to build my first computer for games. I too worked on a farm, and picked a crap ton of strawberries. When we were 16 to 17, 5 to 6 of us would go pick berries for the day, usually raspberries, and pool all our money and buy some cases of beer and a big bottle of vodka. A trumpet. Professional brand silver trumpet. I wish I still had it, but it was stolen. Boxstrad? I still have mine, but I suck. You're supposed to blow. Beautiful. Touché. Told my mom if she wanted me to keep practicing she had to buy me my own trombone. I wasn't sharing the dinged up school ones. What an entitled little crap I was. She got me a Boxstrad silver with the F/ attachment. She was a music teacher. I was like F. So I held up my end of the deal and practiced like 1.5 to 2 hours a day and beat all those seniors out for first chair my frosh year. Edit, it was the Big Bore 42. Edit 2, made it to the State Youth Symphony and killed it there. Edit 3, my mom was a private piano teacher and taught at a public school. I did have private instruction. My family was intertwined with the local music talent. Our camping buddy eventually was my high school band teach. The car stereo shop that I spent all my time at was owned by students of my fishing mentor. That fishing mentor was at my house constantly because they wanted a relationship. My single mom, and had also taught the car stereo shop people in band as he was a music teach also. I had music instruction at every moment of my childhood. Picked trombone because the parents, classmates of my mom, of that viral skateboarding cop from Seattle you have seen, gave me a place to stay while I went through chemo while I had cancer as a child. He played trombone and skated and was obsessed with MJ, and that is why I skate and play basketball and trombone. Yo Craig, I know you're being the best officer you can be in these times. PM me if you are here. You are my idol, bro. That's pretty cool, and impressive that you had that kind of reflection and discipline so young. Same. Silver trumpet professional with 3 mouthpieces from Yamaha. Won several solo concerts with it. Sold it when I joined the army. Zeno? That was my first professional trumpet. Edit, didn't even notice your username at first. Renting my first apartment rather than sharing. Must have felt nice to have full control of when the dishes are done. Lol, I regret having this power. I've been living on my own for 5 years and I still don't understand how I generate so much housework alone in my 1-bedroom apartment. Relying on people for a living situation. It's the worst, but rent keeps going up and wages are stagnating. I am one who doesn't have a choice. Can't afford the $750 a month going rate to rent an efficiency in my city, can't afford a down payment to buy. Just effed. Feels good, man. I'm working a full-time job making $15 an hour and still can't afford my own place. I can't get approved because I don't make 3 times the rent for an $800 studio apartment. $26 per hour and in a coastal city. Same. When I had this issue, I offered to prepay an extra month or 2 ahead of time. Look and see if that's a possibility. Otherwise, renting a room in a house perhaps? $750 a month. Jesus. I would kill for $750 a month. My city is $3,000 plus a month for rent for our space needs. We are moving out of this city when our lease is up. Our city is headed this direction and it's nauseating when I think about it. I started renting in 2010 and places were between $400, $600 for a decent 2-bedroom. Now they're about $1,500. Yes, that's triple in 10 years, despite our state having some of the lowest average pay in the US. Please, please everyone stop moving to Boise. This is also a problem. The rest of the country hates us because we move out of our crap hole into their city. I'm looking at the subreddits for the city I am moving to, and they are constantly talking about how much they hate people from my city. But like, what am I supposed to do? I can't afford to keep living here. Don't take it personally. People just don't like change. California takes a lot of heat where I live for driving up housing prices over the last decade or so, but our highways are full of recent transplants from every corner of the country. Everyone wants the benefits of a booming local economy without the increased population to drive it. I wish you the best, wherever you're headed. Just support local businesses when you can, be a considerate driver, and avoid too many unflattering comparisons to the X type of cuisine that was so much better in SF. I think a lot of people are going to be on the move this year by choice or necessity, so you certainly won't be the only one settling in somewhere new. I got a remote job and moved to a small town. The mortgage/taxes on my 4BR house on 10 acres is less than half of what my crafty apartment in NYC cost. Biggest raise I ever got was getting away from the city, from utilities, to insurance to food, everything costs less. It's like my income doubled. Where the F do you live for rent to be $3,000 a month? California probably. Northern California. The Bay Area specifically. It's brutal here. Everyone needs multiple roommates or they still live with their parents at nearly 30. Yeah, I'm also in NorCal and I'm sharing a teeny tiny apartment with 3 other people. All of us work full-time and yet we can only afford 25% of an apartment. I live out in the far East Bay. My husband and I rent the cheapest 1-bedroom apartment we could find. It's 465 square feet. Built in 1970 and it shows. Insulation has never been redone, windows are all single pane, so it boils in the summer and freezes in the winter. Don't even have our own dedicated hot water heater. Hot water is shared across the complex so we frequently don't have any. $1,600 a month. That market is insane. I was offered a job there fresh out of my bachelor's, and they only wanted to pay me $15 an hour. Instantly declined because there's no way in hell I could have survived on that. I had to switch coasts for that very reason. It wasn't easy and I recognize the ability to move as a privilege itself. In my case it was a job that paid for my move. If that job transfer never happened, I'd likely still be living in a crap box with 3 to 4 roommates, most of whom cobbling 2 to 3 jobs to pay their share. A 1979 Gibson Les Paul custom guitar. I paid $400 for it in 1987 and sold it for $500 a few years later after I bought a Fender which was more my style. Wish I never sold it. It would be worth over $3,500 today, easy. You got paid $100 to have a nice guitar for a few years? Nice, easy to regret stuff, but sounds like a win when there's no way to know the future anyway. Yeah, it was a win. It was one of 3 instruments that I sold that I wish I kept, but I don't lose sleep over it. I sold it to a good friend solely because he really wanted and loved that guitar. I was happy that he had it. Even though I sold it for more than I paid for it, it was worth more. I was a bit disappointed that my friend foolishly traded the guitar for a crappy guitar that he got distracted by. Sounds like that guitar was just itching to move through owners. I like to think it finally found its perfect match after passing through a few more sets of hands. It was sold by the guy your friend traded it to for way less than it was worth to a woman who gifted it to her addicted son, then traded for a baggie of smack, left on hock at a pawn shop where the guy never paid off the loan, sold to an old man with no kids and nothing to do with his retirement nest egg, sold at the estate sale after said old man's passing, left behind as lost luggage, stolen by an airport employee, traded for a bass guitar, which the airport employee subsequently never learned to play, left at a bus stop, picked up by a cab driver, given to the cabbie's nephew, who then sold it to his friend at school, a young Gary Clark Jr., who was just learning the pentatonic scale. Or something like that. I'm now deeply invested in the fictitious travels of this guitar. Fictitious. How dare you? If it makes you feel better, $500 cash invested in 1987 with a reasonable annual return of 8% would be worth more, around $4,700. Thanks. I was 18 and ended up spending the majority of it on weed. $500 by 420 equals yeah, you're right, I don't feel so bad now. Good way to end the story, laughing my butt off, spent it on weed. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.